Welcome back to another episode. I'm Gabriel, and in this channel I'm showing you interesting things to see. This time we're in one of Spain's oldest cities, founded by the Romans as early as 138 BC. Since the Roman time, it's been ruled by Visigoths, Catholics and Muslims, and these civilizations have all shaped the city and its culture. Thanks to this crossbreeding, this place has been at the forefront of art, agriculture and architecture for centuries, meaning there is a lot to discover and inspect. So tag along and I'll show you 3 interesting things to see in Valencia. We're in the Old Town, and this, in the Middle Ages, was a metropolis of commerce. You see, during their 500-year rule, the Moors had introduced a number of novelties that greatly improved the region's well-being. We're talking about irrigation canals, health care, and an appreciation for studies in arts and sciences.
Irrigation techniques from northern Africa transformed the dusty fields of the Valencian countryside into lush orchards. Advances in medicine included surgical techniques, inhaled anesthetics, and an improved personal hygiene. Another fruit of this period was an increased trade with other kingdoms, and in one product in particular, silk.
By the 1400s, the Muslim rulers had been driven out, but prosperity stayed, and trading activity was booming. So, as to display the city's economic power and to attract even more merchants, construction of a lavish temple of commerce was begun.
Today, this building is considered the crown jewel of the Old Town and one of the finest examples of Gothic civil architecture. Its inside has many interesting details, but is best experienced in person.
In a way, this building represents the high point of Valencia's golden age. But it's interesting to think that within its time of construction, an event took place that would have a fundamental impact on Valencia. The Spaniards arrived in the New World. But that's a story for another time.
As already mentioned, this was a Muslim city for more than 5 centuries. Not much of the architecture is preserved from that time, but the cathedral, like most churches of the city, is built on the site of a former mosque. A mosque that in turn was a converted Visigoth cathedral, and next to it there was once a Roman temple. But let's stay focused. The cathedral. Construction began shortly after the Christians regained control of Valencia in the 1200s. And in 1436, the church received a relic that traces back all the way to the days of Christ. This relic is housed in its own chapel, the Chapel of the Holy Chalice.
According to Christian tradition, the Holy Chalice is the cup that Jesus used to serve wine during the Last Supper. Now, there are a few cups around the world that are claimed to be that particular drinking vessel. But this one, the Holy Chalice of Valencia, comes the closest.
The oldest part of the chalice is the cup itself, a piece of agate carved in the 1st century BC. This means that it could have been present at the Last Supper. According to legend, the cup was brought to Rome by St. Peter and passed on to the early popes who used it to celebrate Mass. Sometime later, it was transferred to Spain and mounted on an ornate base with gilded arms, as we see it today. The foot of the chalice has an inscription that has been investigated since its discovery in the 1960s. A current theory is that it says Jesus is God in both Cufic script and, if reflected vertically, in Hebrew. It seems that the author of the inscription wanted it to be legible in both languages.
In 1957, Valencia was struck by a natural disaster. El Turia, the river that's normally a mere trickle, overflowed greatly and laid large parts of the city below water. This caused massive damage and the loss of more than 80 lives. To prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again, the river was redirected away from the city center, and this signified a huge opportunity. Diverting the river had turned the old riverbed into a dry stretch of land, injecting the very heart of the city with unexploited real estate. Now, there were a few ideas, but after some debate, it was decided to turn this vast space into El Jardín del Turia, or the Gardens of Turia. And that's it. I won't tell you any more. I'm just gonna get on my bike and enjoy this beautiful park. Goodbye. I'm just joking. Of course you're coming with me. Come on. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed our visit to Valencia. I've had a great time here, and I'm already looking forward to coming back soon. And hey, I got a haircut too. Anyway, if you have a favorite city in Spain, why don't you leave it in the comments and I'll look into it for a future episode. And speaking about future episodes, I've got many more coming up. So stay tuned and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!